And I'll tell you one more thing. Sorry, is there? Wrap it up? Yeah, okay, I'll tell you one more thing, which is an interesting thing. I feel that there are contradictions within the Western narrative, and I'll tell you where and how these contradictions lie. I believe that sometimes an atheistic woman with believing in a philosophical as well as a psychological Darwinism can also subscribe to feminism. Well, if you look at The Descent, written by Charles Darwin, a book that himself was one of the main seminal works that he wrote, no doubt Charles Darwin believed that men, and he said it as clearly as this, were superior to women. And he believed in his theory that men were superior to women because of women's ability to be more intuitive and all these kinds of data that he extrapolated. And you'll find that even till this day you'll find evolutionists saying the same thing. So when an atheist, evolutionist, feminist comes forward and says, I subscribe to all three, I believe she is actually contradicting herself, because we were talking about evolution. In one way, if you think about evolution as a theory which actually says that two things are most important: a reproductive functionality and a survival functionality, and the second one is more important than the first, called the survival of the fittest. So if that is the case, the patriarchy is not an evidence against men. It would be an evidence for their superiority and their ability to subjugate women in the weaker position, because they are the fittest, and that would be a contradiction. So I think when a woman says that she is a feminist, she has to think twice, especially if she's living in the West, and especially if she's an atheist, and especially, and this is another point, if she believes in the theory of evolution psychologically and philosophically. I would say the best bet for a woman who wants to affirm, right, the equality of men and women is to do so using an objective reality, which can only be done if she subscribes to one of the moral traditions, because there's no objectivity in atheism. This is very well documented, very well understood. Look at the works of Nietzsche, Beyond Good and Evil, The Gay Science. Look at the works of Jacques Derrida. Look at the works of Bertrand Russell. Look at the works of even the new atheists, Sam Harris and Richard Dawkins. All of these people don't believe in an objective reality. Therefore, feminism is not grounded on a premise which is objective, which means it cannot be said to be completely true. Therefore, according to an atheistic feministic perspective, it makes more sense for a woman to be a feminist woman to look for a way that she can say objectively that men and women are equal. Because science is not helping her, according to Darwin, and atheism is not helping her, according to all of the postmodernist and atheist thinkers. She should be looking at Islam.
The point I'm going to make to you guys is, these are the questions we're going to be asked, lots of questions regarding women's rights. Because we go around, Ali, don't we? We go around, and I will tell you about 70 to 80% of the questions that people ask about Islam. Why is a woman not allowed to have 4 husbands? Or why is it the case that a man can divorce easier than the woman? Why? Why? Because we don't believe in an absolute equality. We believe in a general equality, and that is more tenable. If you say, because the Prophet said, he said that certainly men are equal to women. He said this. However, it's generally the case. We have exceptions in inheritance, we have exceptions in marriage and this and that. If you don't want there to be exceptions, you will fall. You will have problems in society.